versus Lions.
Yes.
Another
team with getting eliminated this week too. Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions at 8-7 getting eliminated. Yep. Cincinnati came in with a losing record, still has a losing record, but was able to close out the Lions 26-17. How are we feeling about the Bengals? Where do they stand in the hierarchy?
I think they're third in their division.
Okay.
Obviously the Browns are below them because they haven't won a game this year.
Yikes.
I think the thing is that Matthew Stafford, the team, played a little inconsistent. I think that the Bengals knew what their goals were this game if they won, the rewards. I think that the Bengals responded to that in a great way. I think they just played better. There's really no other way.
Big fourth quarter.
Big fourth quarter for
13 points in the third quarter.
Yeah, it was.
Fourth quarter rather.
Yeah, they played. They definitely played a lot better. They used the running game was actually working this week. Giovanni Bernard, the Bengals had over 100 rushing yards, and I think the inconsistency with the Lions offense definitely showed up today. I think they did what they needed to do to make sure the Lions weren't heading to the postseason. They'd rather see them, obviously on the couch watching this year.
Right.
I think the thing that really concerns you is if Jim Caldwell is going to be their coach next year too, because there's rumors I think this whole season about if he was going to stay or if he was going to go, and I think that those rumors are probably going to be addressed once the season ends, and I think that the Lions need a better team. I think that they're going to have to make some changes in some key areas, but I think the passing game is good. I think they need to fix the running game because obviously when the passing game isn't working, go to the running game, and they don't have a good running game. They're not efficient. They're kind of not consistent in the running game. I think that's the problem for the Detroit Lions.
Bengals. AJ Green is standing out in this game.
He clinched it over 1,000 yards, I think, too.
Okay. Yeah, only had 6 receptions, but he went for 81 yards with an average of 13.5 yards a reception. So you just mentioned that put him over the 1,000-yard mark for the season. My question was going to be, is that the kind of output that we've seen from him all season? You already answered it. Yes, it is. So it's just more of the same from AJ Green. Any other players on the Bengals that are worth noting? I don't think their quarterback is elite.
Andy Dalton. Yeah.
We talked the other day over game managers versus game changers. I don't think we would put Andy Dalton necessarily in either one of those categories. No. Although for this game, it looked like a decent manager. He was putting points up on the board every quarter, I think with the exception of the first, but really made it count in the fourth. So, we can't snub him for this game, but is that somebody that you think that is going to be their franchise quarterback moving forward, or do you think they're going to start looking elsewhere?
I think that, Andy Dalton these last 2 seasons, ever since he got injured, he hasn't been consistent. He's kind of been a little lackluster. Kind of the offense this whole year has kind of looked lazy, I would say.
Who's the backup?
A.J. McCarron. He actually took over once he got injured in 2015. That didn't go well because they lost first round in the wild card.
Any quarterbacks out there in college world that they might be looking at for a draft?
I wouldn't say they're looking at any of these quarterbacks, but these quarterbacks are going to be a bad option. Obviously, Baker Mayfield is going to be coming out of the draft, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen. So I think that looking for a quarterback in the 2018 NFL draft is a good step for their off-season
acquisitions.
Absolutely, because this year for Andy Dalton, to me, was kind of an interview for him to see how he was going to play this year. And he did not play great because, obviously, in the NFL, making the playoffs isn't good enough. Winning in the playoffs is most of the time good enough. Really winning Super Bowls is good enough.
Who's first in that division in the AFC Central?
For their division, it was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
And I think that, it was win or die type of season. A lot of things were on the line for Andy Dalton, and I think that he has not responded well to those things because they had a 7-9 season. Their offense looked sluggish a lot this year, very inconsistent. obviously AJ Green was, doing his thing, but there's a lot of other players that they weren't getting involved in the passing game because there were some games where AJ Green was not getting, a lot. You couldn't throw him a lot, so he was kind of like, oh, don't have my first option. He needs to do a better job, I would say, is reading his reads. Like, first guy's not open, I go throw to the second guy. If he's not open, like he wasn't using the passing game a way that the quarterback should use a passing game.
Good stuff. All right,